Good evening. Welcome to Apron Strings. If you're new to Apron Strings, my name is Gay, and I'm so glad you're here. And it just tickled me to death if you'd subscribe and hit that little bell so you'll be notified when I put up a new video. I'm asking the good Lord to let my channel grow, so wouldn't you like to help the good Lord out? And to y'all that are here all the time, I'm so glad you're faithful and good and part of the Apron Strings family. I love y'all, and I'm thankful to have all my new friends that I've met since I started YouTube. Today we're going to make a casserole for supper, and it's not the healthiest one in the world because it's got some egg noodles in it, but it's yummy. And it's just a delicious Amish casserole that came out of an Amish cookbook, and I'm going to make it because it's quick and easy. So if y'all get over to the butcher block, listen to me rattle and watch me work, we'll end up with a yummy dish that's about 9 by 13. Come on over here and let's get going. The recipe actually does not call for it. That's why you need to watch to see what I change on here. But I had some Vidalia onions that I picked up at Costco, and they're on their last leg, it looks like. So I'm going to chop up an onion. Normally in my casseroles that have beef, I put onion and bell pepper, but today I'm just going to put an onion in there when I start to, and then I'm going to brown my beef. I'm just going to chop this up, what they call a rough chop. I don't want it, doesn't have to be in any certain size pieces. I like to have something that if Troy needs to pull something out and warm it up, he can. Really, I think the noodles are probably the worst thing in here for him, and you're not going to get a whole lot in each serving, so he's doing better with his numbers. We've been watching everything real good. I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil in this skillet over here at the stove. I hope y'all can see. And put my meat in. Put my onions in. I got meat laying here, so I got meat on the grain. I'll put these onions in and wilt them a little bit. And then I'll add the ground beef and get it browned off. And I'm going to have to cook some noodles in another pot here and get them ready. I don't want to caramelize this. I'm just going to kind of wilt it. Well, they won't come apart. I heard thunder. God, please let it rain so I don't have to go out and water. I hope it does. That was a small onion, but that's okay because I'm going to put something else in there too in a minute. Okay, my onions are wilted down, so I'm going to go ahead and get my beef in and get it browned. And I've got water in here to cook some of those egg noodles in just a minute. Okay, while I've got all of that going on, I'm going to get the rest of it mixed up here. If I can find a little small spatula that'll reach down in here. Okay, I'm going to use 1 can of tomato soup, condensed tomato soup, and 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. And I know a lot of y'all don't use soups. You can make your own. Some of you do that. But on occasion, most of the occasion, a casserole is going to call for cream of soup. This casserole calls for some onion flakes, and I don't have any, so I'm going to use a package of onion soup mix. I'm just mixing these up pretty good before I get anything else in it. You want a couple of garlic cloves minced. Like I said, I'm going to use some onion soup mix. The cheapest place I have found the onion soup mix is Aldi's. The last I bought was 58 cents a package. Now I'm sure with inflation it's gone up because I usually get 8 or 10 boxes. And then when I run out I go back and get some more and it's time to stock back up. Now because this has some bouillon in it, I'm going to taste before I add any salt because that's going to add some salt to it. Also calls for a cup of milk. Couple of teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. I love this little pepper shelf tool here that breaks the meat up, and I've had it for many years, so but they still have it, I'm sure. But you can also saw it at Bed Bath & Beyond, so other people make them too. This is about 1 pound of ground beef, and it's 80/20. Turn that down and just let it brown a little bit. I need 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce in here. 1, 2. Okay, I'm just going to let this set aside, and I'll get some egg noodles in the water. It's starting to boil, and then we'll get it all assembled and in the oven. Troy can have some supper here in a little bit. I'm going to set my timer for about 7 minutes. Cook my noodles. And meanwhile, I'm going to add all of this mixture in with the meat that has gotten, uh-oh, that's fixing to boil over on me. Meat's done, so I'm going to add my soup mixture into the meat. Get this all stirred up. You could do this instead of the egg noodles. You could use rice. It works just as good. A couple of cups of cooked rice. Okay, I'm going to let this simmer down a little bit and let those flavors all get married real good. Have the same last name, casserole. Let my noodles cook, then I'll drain them and put it all together. And we're going to top it with some Parmesan cheese before we put it over in the June oven. I better turn that oven on and let it get hot. 350. Okay, the noodles are done, and I'm going to get them and bring them over here to the sink and drain them. There's not a lot of water left in them. Pan over here where we can get it all going. Let them drain just a jiffy, and we're gonna get them over here in the sauce, and I'll get the camera back around where y'all can see. Okay, I'm just gonna add those in the skillet. Keep the toss around till I can get it over in the casserole dish. You could also do this with sausage links that you smoke or just cook and use that for your meat. The sauce on it is very good. Now I used that onion soup mix, and to me was a little salty with no salt whatsoever added. So I added a third of a brick, of an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, and that took care of the extra saltiness. It tastes good. I had already used a little of this cream cheese, so got enough for one more little add in on something. If something's too salty, a lot of times you don't want to add a salty cheese. But a cream cheese or some heavy cream in a sauce will kind of help to take away some of the over saltiness if you get it too salty. Okay, I'm going to get this in the pan. Now, I know very much of this won't be eaten, so I will be cooling it and vacuum sealing it, putting it in the freezer for another day. I do that a lot when I make casseroles, and it's just me and Troy here. It's enough, we can warm, up a day or so out of the icebox, but I don't ever warm it up. I just take out what we're going to use. I don't like to warm and rewarm stuff. It's not good. Okay, let me sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan on the top, and this is fresh grated. I'm not putting a whole lot because I don't want it real strong, and I don't want to add a bunch of salty cheese to it. As soon as the oven gets warm, I'm going to stick this in there for 20 minutes or so until the cheese melts and it's all bubbly, and then it'll be ready to serve. Okay, y'all, I got the casserole out of the oven. You can see the cheese is melted around on it, and if you were here, you could see more clearly. You could see the ground beef. I'm not going to dish it up right now because Troy is out doing something, and I want it to be still all warm when he comes in. So I wanted to show y'all the finished product. It's easy to make and put together. I tasted the sauce. It's delicious. So it'll be a good casserole for you to put into your rotation. Talk to y'all just a minute about time-consuming ways to make casseroles. If you would buy a large, say 3 pounds of ground beef, and brown it off, and go ahead and season it with some salt and pepper and onion and garlic powder. Drain it really well and vacuum seal it in portions and put it in the freezer. Then when you get ready to make something like this casserole, your meat's done. Boil your egg noodles 7 minutes. If you want to saute some onion and bell pepper to go with it, you can, and then either add rice or noodles to it, or even potatoes, and make something for your sauce. Casseroles, I've got a video, The Anatomy of a Casserole, and it tells you the different ways and things you can put together. Casserole's basically putting together a bunch of stuff to make a meal, and you kind of look in your refrigerator and see what you have, and then you can make your own casserole. This one would be really good to brown off some sausage rings, get some link sausage and brown it and put it in here instead of the ground beef. I love sausage. So there's a lot of variations you can do, but a casserole feeds a lot of people. It stretches your food, and in the coming days we might need to know how to stretch our food. So making a casserole, you have a meat base, and then you're going to put some kind of a starch with it, and then you can add vegetables to it or whatever. But that's how you can stretch your food to feed several people. If I'd have made burgers out of that hamburger meat, I'd have got 4. But I can feed easily 6 to 8 helpings of this with a salad. So you can stretch it if you'll just plan ahead. I hope y'all are putting a little bit of stuff back, because stuff's going to get so high if we can get it, we won't be able to afford it. And I'm just sounding the warning bell because the handwriting's on the wall. Things aren't going to get any better. You need to plan ahead for your family. And every video just about it I've mentioned, take a look at what you want to fix for the holidays and make sure that you have your ingredients. I don't know if they'll be available. Well, I can get candied cherries for a fruit cake. We can order them from different places right now. They may not be in that center aisle at Walmart this year. We don't ever know. So try to get what you can get now that you make your Christmas goodies, your Thanksgiving feast. If you've got a special birthday celebration coming up, make sure ahead of time that you have what you want for your menu. That's just being wise in the day and age we live in. Now I'm going to be back here in a day or two with something else good. I'm very thankful for every one of y'all that watch and hit that bell for notification, and please give me a thumbs up. I don't know what it does to the algorithm, but it does something, and I like thumbs up. That means you liked it. The good Lord bless and keep you, and I'll be back in a day or two.